What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, IBF Junior Middleweight World Champion, Russian superstar boxer, or star boxer, who has become now a superstar boxer, Eastern European fighter, Bakram Murtazaliev, coming off the biggest win of his career in devastating fashion, brutally knocking out former WBO Junior Middleweight World Champion, Australian superstar boxer, and the son of a legend, Tim Tszyu, whose father is Costa Tszyu, a Hall of Famer, a legend. And this was a fight that Tim Tszyu was a heavy favorite in, and Tim Tszyu was supposed to pick up that IBF strap off of Bakram Murtazaliev, who beat Jack Colque for it. Now, keep in mind, Tim Tszyu had suffered a loss. He was coming off a loss to the towering Inferno, Sebastian and Fundora, in March. But that was due to a technicality. An incidental elbow cut Tim Tszyu on the top of his head, giving him a nasty gash on the top of his head that Tim Tszyu simply never recovered from. It was distraction. The blood was in his eyes. He never really recovered. And he ended up losing a decision to the towering Inferno, 6'6", 80-inch army Sebastian Fundora. But that was a technicality. And then they had a game plan, because now Sebastian Fundora became the unified WBC WBO champion, because the undisputed three-time lineal junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jermell Charlo, vacated the belts when he moved up daring to be great to challenge Canelo Alvarez. So with that said, now Tim Tszyu, they decided to strategically, that being the Premier Boxing Champions and Tim Tszyu's managing and promotional company, they decided that they was going to maneuver around Terrence Crawford and strategically set up the belts for them to collect them. Fundora has 2 belts. Now they wanted Tim Tszyu to go get the IBF belt and then set up a Tim Tszyu-Fundora rematch, or Sebastian Fundora is going to fight Errol Spence, the winner of that fight, versus Tim Tszyu for 3 belts, and box out the WBA champion, Terrence Crawford, who beat Israel Madrimov August 3rd. But Bakram Murtazaliev, he had other plans. And he brutally knocked out Tim Tszyu in 3 rounds, dropping him 5 times in 3 rounds and stopping him. So with that said, he's looking for a big fight. But now it's said that the Errol Spence Fundora fight is going to be pushed back to March. You got it, March, all the way to March. So since that fight is going to be pushed all the way back to March, now Bakram Murtazaliev just fought. He wants to get back in the ring. And what better person to get back in the ring with than one pound-for-pound king, 4-division world champion, undefeated 2-division undisputed world champion, in the reigning WBA and soon-to-be WBO junior middleweight unified champion, because Terrence Crawford was the WBO mandatory challenger for Fundora, but he allowed Fundora to go ahead and fight Errol Spence, which they're going to fight in March. But since the WBO rules is if you don't fight somebody in the top 15, he'll be stripped. So Terrence Crawford will be elevated, and then they will have to face each other eventually. So Bakram Murtazaliev and his team is saying that they don't believe Terrence Crawford is going to take the fight, because Terrence Crawford had a tough outing with Israel Madrimov on August 3rd. And because he had that tough outing with Israel Madrimov on August 3rd, and he recognized that there's weight classes for a reason, he's a very skilled, slim, technical, small fighter, is their words, as you see there, referring to Terrence Crawford. And Bakram Murtazaliev is a very big, strong, powerful junior middleweight. Great fight, but Terrence Crawford understands that there's weight classes for a reason. And since he had such a tough fight with Israel Madrimov, he ain't going to take the fight with Bakram Murtazaliev. If he had an easy fight with Israel Madrimov, they're saying that Terrence Crawford would have chomped at the bit. But since he had such a tough fight, he ain't going to take the challenge. So he's chasing money to challenge Canelo Alvarez. at 168. Obviously, that's a legacy fight. Obviously, that's a major payday for Terence Crawford. Obviously, Terence Crawford wants to fight. But Terence Crawford is also chasing legacy. Now, obviously, he looking for that legacy-defining fight with Canelo Alvarez, right? But is he going to turn down Bakram Murtazaliev? Because this is another opportunity for him to become undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. So I highly doubt that Terence Crawford is ducking Bakram Murtazaliev for money and because he had such a tough fight with Israel Madrimov. But Terence Crawford is 37 years of age. So he's got to secure his legacy and his future right now. Does Bakram Murtazaliev represent a major payday for Terence Crawford? No. Does it represent a legacy fight? Yes. A good payday with the backing of His Excellency, Prince Turki Al-Sheikh? Yes. Is it worth the investment in the eyes of Turki Al-Sheikh? But I believe Terence Crawford will take this challenge if the Canelo Alvarez fight doesn't present itself. But he has to hold off because Canelo Alvarez historically fights on 2 dates. Traditionally, he's going to fight in May, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Then he's going to fight in September, Mexican Independence Day weekend. So I believe that if he can't get the fight in May, he'll take the challenge of fighting Bakram Murtazaliev, which would be a very interesting fight. But will what Bakram Murtazaliev did to Tim Tszyu work against Terence Crawford? No. Did Terence Crawford have such a tough time with Israel Madrimov? No. Technical tough fight. Israel Madrimov was unpredictable, but Crawford won the fight convincingly. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. Are they playing a game to try to get under Crawford's skin, to try to get him to sign a contract? I believe that's the case. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.